Alright, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about the rehypothecation and why I think it's one of the key components that is making Warren.Finance so bullish for the next few months. Alright, but before we get into that, I just wanted to go ahead in my wallet and do two little things, okay? So, as you guys can see, I told you at some point that I have some more Dai-WPLS LPs coming to my wallet, and really right now I have two options. I can go to the bond section, I can go ahead and max. You see I have 1067 over here. I can choose to rebond this and then stake it again in all of this over here. But what I'm gonna do is actually I'm going to rebond my available warrant. As you guys can see, I have 8,353 that I've been accumulating since, I mean, maybe like 2-3 days. I don't know. Well, actually, wait, $133. I was making about, let's say, 40 bucks a day. This has been accumulating for about 3 days, 3 days and a half, right? But what I'm telling myself right now is, why do I have this accumulating over here if I can put it to work for me? So far, since we launched on Friday last week, so it's almost going to be 5 days now. I think we've been 5 days, 5.5 days. We've hit 628,000 TVL, and warrant price started roughly at 1.2 cents. Now it's at 1.5. So the price of warrant is going up, which means the value of my stake is going up, and ultimately I'm making more daily dividends, right? And having a bond over here not working for me 2% per day is something that I don't want to do necessarily. So what I'll be doing today is I'm going to go ahead and rebond. So we're going to go through this step by step together, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click on rebond. Actually, wait, let me just check. Okay, so I just double checked and my wallet is connected. That's the first step. Then you go ahead and click on rebond. You click on max. I'm going to remove all those decimals, as I told you guys. Remove all the decimals. You guys can see I have $133, which is going to turn into $172 with that extra 30% in that bond. Go ahead and click rebond. It goes and activates your wallet right away. Now, as you guys can see, I already accumulated 0.01% in personal bonus. I have 0.25% of hold bonus, 0.45%, which I have no control over. This is entirely up to the community. 0.45% liquidity bonus based off of the total liquidity of the platform. And the base is what everybody's getting, which is 2%. Okay, so as you guys can see, the contract automatically rebonded all of my Dai-WPLS that I've been accumulating for 3 days, 3.5 days. And a lot of people have been asking, how come I'm not seeing it at the bottom of the page? Well, because guys, this page here is specifically for the stakes, right? You can see here it says active stakes. But if you go to the bond section at the bottom, you'll see the bond that we just created right now is going to end on January 20th, right? So I can go ahead and just leave it like this. But what I'm choosing to do is something that's going to be rewarding me a passive income of 2.71% per day. I mean, what could be better than that? It's kind of sustainable in the world of DeFi. It's very high, but it's kind of sustainable. So I'm really excited to see how long this platform is going to keep these kind of rates, because so far it's been doing really, really well. The climb in TVL was fast in the beginning and then it stabilized, right? To some degree, you would expect it to drop. But the way the platform is made, where people have to actually bond or stake into the platform for multiple days, it's allowing people to have the confidence for a few days now that they're consistently rebonding their earnings instead of selling heavily, right? There are some sells, obviously, people are taking some profits, but it's not as much as you would expect it to be, right? So now what's happening is my bond that's over here is not earning me anything. It's just going to earn me an extra 30%, because whenever you rebond, you automatically have it rebonded for 30 days. Okay, you can't rebond for 40 days so far. So this 30% added is an equivalent of 10,866 LPs. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go to the stake tab, and out of the Dai-WPLS LPs that I have, I'm going to stake that bond. Okay, so we're going to select that bond, and it's going to automatically take the equivalent Dai-WPLS LP that I need to add to the stake. So it takes your bond, removes it completely from the bond section, adds more Dai-WPLS to it so that it could stake. So now you guys can see that it becomes $172 times 2. My rebond of $133 became a rebond of 30 days valued at $172, and because I'm adding another equivalent $172, now that adds another $344 to my daily total, which is earning an equivalent of 2.7% per day, right? That's really the whole calculation behind it. So we go ahead and click approve. It's going to interact with your Rabby or your MetaMask wallet or whatever other wallet you're using. You go ahead and accept it with your ledger. And guys, I'm doing this everything live with you guys. I'm not doing this separately. I'm doing this right away, and you guys can see that it's interacting with my Rabby wallet seamlessly without any issues, right? So we're just gonna let it work its magic. The transaction is still pending. Transaction confirmed. All right, awesome. So we've just added another 21,725 Warren tokens to our total stake. My total bonds staked right now are at 122,416. I've rebonded 8,356 Warren tokens, and I've sold 0 so far, right? So now all of this is earning me up to 175%, right? Okay, but now I have a remaining amount, right? I still have some more Dai-WPLS LPs in my wallet. So what can I do with that, right? I can do multiple things, but here is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be bonding and staking that again, because rather than taking that as profit, rather than just leaving that in my wallet sitting there doing nothing, I'd rather it be working for me. So this is what I'm going to be doing, right? I'm going to be staking this for another 40 days, which adds another 40%. So as I told you guys in the past, so what you do is you take the total amount of LPs, which is 56,177, equivalent to $894. What I do with that is I multiply it by 41%. Okay, that's gonna give us the exact amount of tokens you need to be staking, that you need to be bonding for 40 days, because the remaining 30 to 33,000 LPs are gonna be just enough so that I can stake the remaining bond that I have, right? So we're gonna go ahead and do that together. So after I do the multiplication, I go ahead and write 23,032. You see here, it's $366, right? Because you always need to take into consideration it's going to change. Right now, the 366 with the extra 40% becomes 513. This is how you make your money work for you, rather than it being stagnant and doing nothing, right? So we go ahead and click on create bond. So this is, oh, you guys can't see. It says it over here. This is brand new. The team is working in real time, and I love everything about this. A lot of people were complaining. They were like, what does get tokens mean after you approve the contract? So they've decided to change it to create bond, which is perfect. You go ahead and create your bond. Unless you get a approval at the top of the page, it doesn't necessarily mean that the transaction has completed yet. So Rabby is still trying to process that transaction. And think about it, guys. Rabby is a seamless wallet to use for these kind of transactions, and Rabby is taking a little bit of time due to Pulsechain congestion and Pulsechain issues happening recently. So a lot of people that have, for example, MetaMask, they have issues in terms of getting their transactions approved correctly and on time. And the reason for that is you just have to give it a bit of time because Pulsechain is acting up and we need to figure out this whole Pulsechain situation, right? If it takes too long, okay, so I'm going to give it a few more seconds. If it's not working, I'm actually going to zap the hell out of it and speed it up because I just want this to be executed as efficiently as possible. Okay, so it's taking a few minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and click on speed up. And I'm going to change this so that it does an instant transaction, which is going to cost me 1 penny, guys. Woo! 1 penny in taxes. Let's go. Man, this whole thing with Pulsechain is just annoying, but I hope they get that figured out very, very soon. But anyways, if we go ahead to the bond tab, right now that it got bonded, you guys can see over here at the bottom, it says warrant amount 32,233 and 34 LPs. Right? And this one, if I leave it the way it is in 40 days, which is January 30th, it would finish, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the staking tab. And as you guys can see, the remaining amount of LPs that I have in my wallet are 33,145 and 74 Dai-WPLS LPs. And my bond just so happens to be 32,233 and 34, right? So what's happening right now is that it's taking the equivalent amount of Dai-WPLS LP, matching the bond that you have in your wallet, and you click on stake a bond. That's going to add it to our total in the account, which is going to allow us to be making that 2.72% daily return. So you guys can see in the beginning of the video, this was 2.71. Right now it became 2.72 because the TVL has increased to 630,200, and right now because of the stake I just did is 631,110. So thankfully we are contributing to the growth of the ecosystem. Right now we're making 2.73%. Okay, so the update now is 2%, 0.46%, 0.25%, and 0.02%, which is basically due to me adding more stake into my total for the day, or well, for my account, sorry. So right now we went from 100,000 total bond stake to 186,000 total bond stake, guys. Congratulations, we are making it big. All right, guys. So if we go ahead to the bond tab, if I click on max, the remaining amount of Dai-WPLS that I have in my wallet is 900, which is basically $14.35. Now, I won't do anything with that yet because depending on the amount that I'm making per day, I can probably use this to stake another bond, right? Oh, yeah. So right now, my profit per day, right? My profit per day, let's calculate this together. 30.58 plus 2718.29 plus 593.11 plus 1759.94 equals, I'm making 5,101 warrant tokens per day, right? At the price of 0.01595 equals $81.37 per day, right? If we just try to do some projections, I mean, let's say the price remains the same for the next 30 days. We're going to do times 30. That's $2,441 per month, right? Let's say 5,101 is what we said we had. Let's say the price of warrant becomes 2 cents. 0.02, that's $102 per day times 30 days, that's 3,000. So really, at the beginning stages of Warren, the price could probably keep going up because more people are hearing about the platform. They keep wanting to come back in. So that price is probably going to keep going up a little bit. So I can expect my bag, as long as I keep rebonding, as long as I keep finding the right strategy of rebond to sell, Rebond to sell strategy, basically, I can benefit from this platform to keep earning me about 2% per day, 2.2%, 2.5% per day for a really long time, as long as the community works together. So guys, this is the latest update of this account that I have. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about today is the rehypothecation, and I wanted to explain a little bit how bullish this is in my opinion, right? So you guys can see here, it says the protocol's rehypothecation strategy aims to automatically utilize Dai-WPLS LP tokens within Pulsex's Dai-WPLS farm when users stake, contributing to the protocol's external revenue. Okay, we can see right now that the Dai-WPLS LP farm is earning 39% APR, right? So if we go ahead and click on the calculation, right? And then let's say we look at it from a perspective of 1 year. Let's say we stay at the current TVL of Warren.Finance, which is $631,000, right? The protocol is making $301 additional $1,000 in the duration of 1 year, right? So the protocol is automatically using $631,000 US and making during a period of a year, obviously all estimations here, but I'm trying to make you understand what the rehypothecation is doing. It's doing a return of 301,364 for the period of 365 days, right? So it's remarkable, and the fact that nobody knows that this is a thing, or nobody advertises that this is a thing, is crazy. And what Warren.Finance is doing right now is that they're using that to better the platform, right? So let's say we just round this up to 300,000, right? 300,000, 20% of that, so that's $60,000 that's going to marketing and injections, okay? 150,000 is going straight to the treasury, that's 50%. Then you have another 25% going to the team during the period of that 1 year, and then 5% which is going towards the development, and that is going to be, and that's another 15,000 going towards the development of the protocol. Now, obviously, there's more to be built on the ecosystem, but the Warren.Finance concept of bonds and stakes is not going to change. And the reason why I'm saying that is because they are going to be renouncing the contracts, which means that it's going to be 100% in the hands of the community, because they don't have the admin keys. They don't have that capacity. They don't have that factor that allows them to extract any money from the contract. It's going to be renounced, right? So this is something that I feel like is bullish, and a lot of people need to understand it, because it says here, Pulsex integration offers additional opportunities for yield farming and rewards with benefits injected back into the Warren protocol. And also, one thing that a lot of people have been asking is how come there's no official chart on the UI? And the reason for that is the Warren token is basically a Dai-WPLS LP token, which is not obvious to stake Warren as a dex screener chart. So they are going to be doing a customized dedicated chart on the UI that's going to be tracking that. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a future update. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. If you would like to get started, I do have a 50% kickback back to you if you do use my link. It's in the description. Just text me, DM me on Twitter and on Telegram, letting me know that you use my buddy link. And if you have any question on how to get started, I'm gonna have all the steps in the comment down below. All right, guys, so I hope you have a great day. It's Thursday, it's almost Friday. I'm gonna be making one more video tomorrow to end the week on a positive note. It's gonna be a one week review of how Warren has done from the point of view of the community, as well as the point of view of the development team. So guys, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.